Good afternoon. I am Byron Purnell, and I'm the Program Director for our 21st Century After School Impact. And I would like to welcome you to our After School Impact program here at Scott Elementary School. The Impact program is a federally funded after-school program through the 21st Century Community Learning Centers. The goals of the After School Impact program are to increase student academic achievement, provide students with a plethora of extracurricular enrichment activities, and to increase parent and family involvement in all school-wide programming. We have 5 goals of our program: assist our students with meeting or exceeding standards in reading, assist our students with meeting or exceeding standards in mathematics, increase parent involvement in our 21st Century Impact program, increase positive academic behavior, and increase positive classroom behavior by reducing the number of inappropriate behavior referrals. For our Impact program, parents must complete a program registration form at the time of orientation. Parents must attend orientation before their child can attend. Parents must sign and receive a copy of the Parent-Student Handbook, and parents must be given a parent education session interest inventory to help us plan evening sessions. Our homework help and enrichment program here at After School Impact, you need to know a few things. Students are given at least 30 to 45 minutes immediately following the start of after school program daily to work on their homework. Students who do not complete their homework during the first 45 minutes of the program are instructed to take additional time to complete their homework at home. Our 21st Century Learning Centers focus on academic enrichment activities that also focus on the enhancing student experiences that include STEM, art, dance, recreation, and cultural activities. Our program operation for the school year, this is actually for the summer, but for the school year is from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock. The days of operation will be August the 16th all the way up until April the 22nd, 2022. Transportation will be provided Monday through Thursday, not Monday through Friday, but Monday through Thursday. Attendance is a must at our After School Impact program. Students will have no more than 3 unexcused absences. They may be dismissed from the program. It is your responsibility to reach out and contact either me, Byron Purnell, your program director, or Audrey Rucker, your site administrator, to indicate whether the student will be in session and after school. You will always have a link to our after school program so that if they do miss a day in the program in person, they can always join us in a virtual setting. Program costs. It is free. Our after-school program here at Scott Elementary School is free. You will have snacks and supper on site, which actually begins 2 weeks after the program starts, so that we can get an account of how many students will be attending. But that program cost is free, and transportation is free. Discipline and behavior management. The primary goal of the after-school program is to educate in a fun and safe learning environment. When the behavior of a student is in conflict with the rights of others, corrective actions may be necessary for the benefit and safety of the individual and the after-school program. Students in the after-school program are to be governed by policies, regulations, and rules set forth by the Atlanta public school system. Administrators such as me and Ms. Rucker and teachers will keep a detailed discipline log to document repeated offenses. Discipline and action and the length of the assignment will be progressive and will draw on the professional judgment of teachers and administrators and on a range of discipline management techniques, including positive disciplinary techniques. Our goal is to ensure that your child remains in the after-school impact program. That's our only goal. We do everything in our power to make sure they remain. Disciplinary action will always be related to, but not limited to, the seriousness of the offense, the student's age and grade level, the frequency of misbehavior, the student's attitude, whether the students were acting in self-defense, the effect of the misconduct on the school environment, and the intent or lack of intent at the time of the student is engaged in the conduct. The program director, which is me, or the site coordinator, which is Ms. Audrey Rucker, will have the authority to assign consequences based on behavior related to specific incidents. These are causes for immediate termination to after-school impact. The use of tobacco, alcohol, or drugs, weapons, or items which could inflict harm to another, fireworks, pornography, sexual harassment issues, destruction of school property or personal property or of someone else, abusive language towards any adult or another student, fighting with a weapon, and stealing. Those are causes for immediate termination. Some of the prohibited outside behaviors: climbing fences, which will be cause for a consequence, throwing any objects other than the balls, fighting, including play fighting, name calling, horseplay, or tackle football, writing or drawing on any school property, and toys and other non-educational items from home. Now, we do have a program here that we will start right around September, which is called graffiti. So it will actually teach the kids how to write and draw, but not to draw on the building. They will have different things that they can draw on. So we have an outlet for that if they need to write on the wall. Some of the prohibited bus behaviors, which I'm a stickler for, and I know Ms. Rucker is. Refusal to cooperate with bus driver, fighting, verbal and physically, excessive talking and unnecessary noise, extended arms, hands, or head out of the window, obscene or unacceptable language, gestures, remarks, or signs, tampering with equipment, and refusals to stay seated. Those are unacceptable bus behaviors. Some of the corrective actions: after school impact operates on a level system for students found in violation of our discipline code. I'd like to reiterate, our goal is to ensure that your students remain in the after school program only if behavior persists that they do not. Our discipline plan aims to reduce problem-causing behaviors and ensure students are learning from their poor choices. We hope to achieve this through education, encouragement, and pro-social behaviors and other interventions. The consequences of misbehavior: the first infraction will be handled by the teacher and a verbal warning. There will not be a call to the parent. The second infraction is a verbal and written warning given to the student by the teacher, may refer to the site coordinator. If they get referred to the site coordinator, there is a phone call home to the parent. Third infraction is referred to the site coordinator, phone call home to the parent, with a possible dismissal at the discretion of the program manager or site coordinator. Other disciplinary actions: warning or counseling with teachers and our after-school staff director, referral to school administrators, loss of privileges, isolation or timeout, temporary removal from the class or activity, notification of parents, parent conference, suspension from the school bus, expulsion from the school bus, and withdrawal is the ultimate consequence for our after-school program. But we do not seek to do that. The biggest thing is bullying and cyberbullying. These are a no-nonsense disciplinary action. Students accused of bullying are subject to be dismissed from the after-school program. Corporal punishment is not allowed in our after-school program. We do not use rulers, yardsticks, belts, any of those things. We do not touch students in a harmful way. We do not touch students in a harmful way. We do not use corporal punishment at any measure. If it is strictly enforced by Atlanta Public Schools, and it may be dismissal by the faculty or staff member who commits such an act. Internet technology and uses for staff and students. During program hours, personal internet and technology use is not allowed unless in the case of an emergency. Staff and students will also follow the board policy of Internet Safety Descriptor Code IFBGE below. Student accident. Any accident involving students will be reported immediately to the office, and an accident report form will be completed detailing the event that took place. Parents will always be notified as soon as possible. I'd like to reiterate, as soon as possible. Oftentimes, when kids get into difficulty or during transition periods or during dismissal, that's when the parent may not have been able to be called. But if something happens early enough, we try to contact the parent as soon as possible. Snacks and supper. Snacks and supper are administered in our after-school space. The students receive a snack when they first join us at 3 o'clock, or really 2:45. And snack time is usually from 2:45 to 3 o'clock. 3 to 3:30 is usually our homework time. And then at 5:45, they usually do supper on site. We actually give them a full hot meal on supper on site. To meet the emotional, cultural, social, and physical needs of students, the program will provide enrichment activities that focus on building self-confidence, problem solving, decision-making, team skills, leadership development, hygiene, dental, violence prevention, physical education, and service learning. These things are all incorporated in our social emotional learning program, as well as in our after-school impact enrichment program. Medication. As a rule, impact staff cannot administer medication to students. The parent must be, the parent must be involved when there's a minister of medication. Not even the school nurse likes to give medication. They like to make sure they call the parent. The parent is fully aware and involved if we have to administer medication. The only exception is include the medication of asthma or EpiPens. And there are staff, myself included, that are certified to give EpiPen shot and also asthma pump. Transportation plan. The After School Impact Program bus will transport students on all days that the program operates. Riding a school bus is a privilege, and any student who fails to follow bus rules will jeopardize their bus riding privileges. The bus transportation rules, as indicated before, there should not be any problems on that bus. Any problems on the school bus should be first reported to the bus driver. Only ordinary conversation is permitted, no loud talking or yelling. Students must refrain from throwing anything. Students must not put any part of the body out of the windows. Only administrators or bus drivers may assign seats. No eating or drinking is allowed on the bus. You usually get a snack and supper on site at the school. Vandalism may result in bus suspension. A student who sets off the emergency alarm or opens emergency door may be assigned or face disciplinary consequences such as removal from your bus privilege. A student who opens an emergency door on a moving bus will be restricted from riding the bus, and students must submit a note of any transportation changes. Submit a note of any transportation changes. Serious disciplinary problems on the school bus may result in suspension or cessation of bus riding privileges. But this does not exclude the student from attending the after-school program. Emergency preparedness plan in our after-school program space. We always conduct a fire drill, tornado drill, intruder alert drill, earthquake drill, and bomb threat drill. If these things occur and is fully in action, we usually evacuate to the church that is next to the school at Springfield Baptist Church. That's where you can relocate to pick up your child. Newsletters and social media. The communication between the impact staff and parents, guardians, and participants in the program is essential for the success of the program. To this end, we will publish a monthly newsletter. You will be on Facebook, Instagram, GroupMe, and Twitter so that you can always be in full communication of what's going in the after-school impact program. School-home communication is a must. Parents with limited English proficiency, you can see the names below. Ms. Sally Luna is our bilingual support specialist. Philip Henry, Nina Reed, Joanna Garcia, and Dewan Barfield and David Galbaum are our Spanish and French interpreters if you need assistance with language. In reporting any acts of sexual misconduct or sexual abuse, we are, as administrators and teachers, are mandatory reporters of such acts. If we see something, we must say something. We do not tolerate any misconduct sexually or any abuse sexually, and it will be reported immediately, not only to first the principal, but also to our Atlanta Public Schools authorities. Any student experience such conduct, or any student seeing an adult experience some conduct, must immediately report the incident. It's immediately reported to the principal within the hour, and it's reported to our APS police department within a 24-hour period. Ethics in reporting suspected child abuse. Again, I want to reiterate, we are mandatory reporters when it comes to ethics and reporting of suspected child abuse, mandatory reporters. If we see something as an administrator or a teacher, we must say something. Again, if we see something, we must say something. and is usually handled by the principal of the school, which is Mr. Langston Longley, and the authorities that are assigned to the school. If you have some concerns or issues about doing amended reporting openly, you can call some anonymous numbers. You have your social worker services, you have DFACS, which is our child protective services, and it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Those are our numbers. You will be receiving the actual parent handbook that has this information located in it. Lost and found. Lost and found articles are usually kept in the cafeteria on the back left-hand side in the corner. If you have lost a book bag or coat or jacket or anything of that nature, it's usually placed in that box there. You can always come to the cafeteria to look for items that have been lost. Assurances. The Atlanta Public School System cannot provide an absolute assurance that students will be prevented from accessing inappropriate materials or sending or receiving objectionable communications. However, the district will ensure that all practicable precautions will be taken to keep students safe from illegal and or inappropriate material. The district shall not be responsible for any claims, losses, damages, or costs, including attorney fees of any kind, suffered directly or indirectly by any user of his or her parent, guardian, arising out of a user's use of its computer networks or the internet under these guidelines. There is a summer program that usually occurs during our summer times. We can give you more information on that. And lastly, the forms to sign and return will be attached to this particular video. There will be a link. All you gotta do is click on that link, and we are gonna need your release and waiver of liability and covenant not to sue, your impact program student agreement for fiscal year 2021 and 2022, and your impact parent agreement. Those things must be signed for your child to remain in our impact school program. I do want to thank you for joining us for our parent orientation. This video will be always available for you to review on YouTube. Also, once you send those agreements, you will be given a parent handbook that you can review along with this video. Thanks again for joining our After School Impact program. We are excited and we look forward to your child having fun and enriching learning activities in our after school space. Thank you again.